All right. Welcome to Tennis Sucks, Pickleball podcast with Travis Rettenmeyer and Graham D'Amico. We are back after a bit of a hiatus. Last week we did record. And then...
Did we record?
Yeah, we absolutely recorded for 10 minutes and then the audio kicked off, which was not my fault, I'd like to say.
Whose fault was it?
It was a corrupt file on the deck. I don't know.
Corrupt file.
Yeah. I try my best.
We'll have to pay you.
Yeah, I have backup cameras. I just don't have backup mics. That would be a lot. So I guess.
I have backup mics.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
I do.
It would be
I'll
excessive,
bring my little
but
ones.
yeah.
I do.
Okay.
From now on.
Okay.
The little ones we can attach.
Perfect. All right. So well, first of all, you guys are separated. I mean, you haven't divorced quite. And Travis, you got a mask on. So you want to...
Before we get started, let me hit you up.
Okay. Got it.
There you go.
And Sani?
I feel like this has a lot of toxins in it. I feel like this will kill me quicker than the sickness.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how sick are you, Travis? Like
on my scale or Graham's scale?
That's
on my scale, I'm like a 3. On Graham's scale, I'm deathly ill.
Red alert.
Yeah.
The guy's sick
You gotta go to
every
hospital.
day. Remember?
I don't really feel like Travis gets sick every day.
Oh my!
Does he?
When I was last with him, remember in the car?
I
He
do
got a
remember
hold
that,
of
yeah.
me sick. Got a hold
4
of
months ago. And I have an infant around me. The fact that I'm sick every week is a fucking miracle.
The children are very sick.
They are
Yeah, for sure.
they're filthy.
How often do you get sick? When was the last time you were sick?
I get sick a lot.
You did?
But I haven't been
Oh,
sick recently.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
Well,
Graham's like a finely oiled machine. He's like a Buick.
Yeah, I am. I'm like,
we're taking precautionary measures. Let's just do a quick recap. Kansas City PPA just ended. Any notable wins or reactions of Kansas City PPA from you guys?
Someone got the crescent bump. We know what happened there. The best player in Kansas City statistically was...
Hold on.
Guys.
The
your
crescent
best friend.
bump? Rachel?
Rohrbacher.
Yeah. For MLP, we're talking about though. That's
Yes,
MLP. Yeah.
MLP.
Yeah,
For
she
MLP, I
crushed
believe
it.
she went 6-0. Statistically, she had the best win-loss ratio as far as points. And, it seems to work for everybody except for me.
Yeah.
When you come and play at Crescent, you're going to have a really, really good week.
Yeah. I think that you should maybe go play anywhere but Crescent before and see if the opposite
Maybe
happens.
we could meet again at JWK and you can tell me my serve was illegal.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Things were going better then.
Nice. So Rachel did great. The DC were unstoppable.
Yeah.
Obviously the Smash didn't play that particular event. You'll be back New York, which is coming
September.
up in September.
I think
19th.
the Shock did really well.
Shock did great. Yeah.
I think that, what was it? The Columbus Sliders still no. Riley just can't quite seem to find his form.
Nope. Their chemistry doesn't look particularly good either. I don't
They
really...
made the trade, right? They got rid of Connor Garnett and got Jay.
Yep.
And then they got Andrea Coop. And I don't think they played badly. I just think they're having a tough time. Riley is, what was he, 3rd pick overall? Is that right? 3rd or 4th?
Oof, that's a while ago now. I
I
don't
think it was
remember.
3rd or 4th. But
Yeah,
I mean,
he
either
was
way,
high.
to be such a high draft pick, he expects of himself, but that he should be pulling out wins on the reg. And he's just not at the moment, and that's kind of what's sabotaging their team to some extent. He's got to
Was
get
he
those
using his
dubs.
new paddle? And
He's been switching it around. He was obviously using his signature Pro XR. Then he kind of saw the arms race that we're all in when he came back to the game, and he started using the paddle tech that is extremely hot, almost in line with the Yola, super spinny. And then as far as I know, there's a new one coming out that will be a new Pro XR that's Riley's paddle that will be extremely powerful and extremely spinny. And, he's seen the writing on the wall, which you better have something that's hot. You better be modding up a storm. Graham was modding today.
It is an arms race. Yeah, you've produced your own hot paddle, Graham.
excuse you, you mean well-crafted legal paddle
Artisanal.
that plays amazing
Okay.
and gets a lot of wins. It hasn't lost yet.
It hasn't lost yet.
It's winning on the sound. It sounds like a Gen 3.
It sounds just like a Gen 3. And also the mod. So speaking of, Chris Olsen put out a video and did his standard analysis where I don't understand this. Yola changed the name from a propulsion core to now a reactive core. Okay?
Smart.
Stated that this was somehow a different paddle that was originally passed and has less foam. Chris Olsen cuts it open. It's the exact same amount of foam. There's literally 0% difference. It sounds the same. It hits the same. All the metrics are the same as far as speed, spin.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? How's that allowed? And
That's
Graham, you just hit with
crazy.
it. What would you put as your speed and spin improvement, percentage-wise?
I'm playing some of the worst pickleball I've played in 6 months.
You've been awful.
And I feel like I can't miss with that thing. I can hit any shot at any time. I never feel like I'm going to lose. I feel like I want to put the ball away for you.
Oh, you could. Graham, you hit the ball at the moment 20 miles an hour faster than I do.
Yeah.
I'm watching 5'3" girls that are 100 pounds hit the ball harder than I do.
Wow.
It is awesome.
I mean, are you guys tired of the arms race at this point? I feel
Yes.
like we've reached a peak of, you know, it was kind of fun while it lasted, but now I'm just like, all right.
No, I never found it fun at all. In fact, I hated it from the moment it started. And now it's gone to just pure insanity. I
Mhm.
saw a point today that Steve Deacon posted. Did you see that by chance? Oh, it was fucking incredible. It was like him and Catherine Parento versus Simone and Ben.
Yeah, I think I did
And
see
he
this.
has like 7 overheads. He can't put it away. They're fucking scrambling. It's just like, yeah,
yeah,
there we
yeah.
go.
Oh, like an
That's
old school point,
Yeah,
you
it's
mean?
a good point. And then, you know, like that's one of the reasons I think Riley has really struggled. He's probably the best defensive player there is. And now you don't have the chance for defense. If the ball goes up to a large male with a live arm, the point ends.
Right.
And before, you know, he could get those balls back and you would be like, oh my God, how did he get that back? Now you generally can't get it back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, I hope it ends.
And then there's new regulations coming out from the UPAA soon. New paddle testing. Still with Pickle Pro Labs, but they're gonna change the regulations on what's approved for PPA and MLP.
Oh, that's right. We got that letter last week. It was the deflection metric was 46, which means absolutely nothing to me. And then the grit was
Revolutions per second.
Yeah, it was 22,
Yeah.
2200,
2200.
2300. What was it, 22?
2200.
Yeah.
Okay. But the point is deflection has nothing to do with speed. Zero. There's very, very soft paddles that are failing for deflection. And what we really need is an exit velocity test. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
There's no other way to determine what's too fast. And until that takes place, like, it's all farce. It's all bullshit.
Crazy. Yeah. We don't really know. I think they're supposed to release more details on that at some point, but right now that's all we know. So it'll be interesting. And then there's rumors about having companies paying a large amount of money to be even accepted for passing on that. So I feel like at the PPA and MLP level in 2025, we'll see only the big names probably putting paddles out. And I don't think that we're at the end of this yet.
Oh, no. I
feel
think
like-
we're in the early stages because it's a very hard thing to cap when you have lawsuits, manufacturing,
Right.
inventory, a paddle that's selling like hotcakes, and then suddenly you go, nope, can't sell it.
Yeah.
It's a very challenging problem.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's figured out because at the end of the day, I just think it's worse for the game. It's certainly less fun from my perspective. Like,
Oh, for sure.
when you're playing guys that are playing with paddles like that, it's just like shit. You win.
Yeah.
You know? They're infinitely better than they were.
Yeah.
And so that's the way it goes.
Some other interesting takeaways from Kansas City. The PPA, Kate Fahey had a great MLP and then went straight into a great singles run. Made it all the way to the final and got silver to Brooke Buckner.
From qualies, right?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch her
And
play.
Mari Humberg, too. They were both in qualies and they ended up playing each
Yeah.
other in the semis.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, she's very, very good in singles. Obviously was a really good tennis player at the University of Michigan. I believe they're all-times match wins leader. So, you know, clearly played at a high level. Tenacious, fast, aggressive. Hell of a result. And
Yeah.
then you got Brooke Buckner in the final. You know, not a surprise. Both of them are playing the Yolas.
Right.
Brooke was using the mod and fucking bludgeoning the shit out of the ball. And Kate was using the Scorpius and also hitting the ball rather large. And yeah, you know, it was a great
Yeah.
women's final. You know, very high level. I don't think for singles necessarily the paddles are a detriment, but certainly for doubles there.
Yeah. I mean, so Anna Lee wasn't there, so the kind of the draw was kind of open from that perspective. But I think a lot of people had pegged Leia to come in and take it.
Was Catherine there?
Catherine was there, and Leia got knocked out by Fahey in round 16, I want to say.
Maybe.
And she was not happy about that.
I didn't talk to her about it.
But Catherine lost to, actually, I don't remember.
I don't think Catherine was in it.
Maybe she wasn't there.
I don't think she was. I mean,
No?
she was there, but I don't think she played singles. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Can't really remember. I
can't
don't think
say
I
for
watched
sure.
Catherine's games. But yeah, and then from the men's side, Ben wasn't there, so I think people were saying Fed would come in and take it, and Garnett ended up coming and taking it.
Garnett beat Tyson McGuffin in the final. It was actually funny the day that the singles was taking place. You know, we've got this talk right now, which we'll get into, the battle of the sexes, where Ryan Sherry was potentially talking about beating Annalie Waters. He does not get a lot of credit. Like almost everyone thinks Annalie would smoke him. And the manager / agent for Agassi called me and asked me if I thought that Andre could beat Annalie if he practiced for 3 months. Anyway, segueing from that, Agassi had an unbelievable two-handed backhand in tennis, and just as a joke, I was like, Connor, who would have a better two-handed backhand in pickleball, you or the 8-time Grand Slam champion, gold medal winner Andre Agassi? And he was like, me for sure. Like, wow, bold. But later in the day, we were probably like 3 matches in, and I didn't know if he was winning or not. Walked by, Connor, you still in? Of course. And so he was joking, but I think he was feeling very good about his game for whatever reason, and he played fucking great.
Yeah.
Tyson beat Fed in the semis. It was a weird day. There was rain in the morning, so it finished really, really late. We were a little low on courts for the event, so matches took a very long time to get on. And I want to say Fed and Tyson probably finished like 10 p.m.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a tough from a scheduling perspective there. But yeah, Connor's, you know, got to be consistently a top 5 singles guy. Backhand's just ridiculous. So
Tui Nation.
Pardon?
Tui Nation.
Tui Nation. Right.
Is that something he came up with, or
I think he did.
Yeah, that's his
Someone
brand?
in his group did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was smart because he's Tui Nation. Like he's like the only dude that plays other than Riley, but like actually reaches and plays Tui on every ball.
Yeah. It's incredible. It works really well.
How is Kansas City? I don't think I've ever been there ever. Known for its barbecue. What do you do while you're there?
They do apparently have amazing barbecue, but I'm not like a big barbecue guy.
Yeah, me either.
I'm fortunate in that I have a host family that I stayed with last year, and I stayed with them again this year. Kay and Dave Scott, who were way, way too nice to me and far, far too gracious, make amazing food, wake up with me, make me breakfast, like couldn't make me feel more welcome. So I just kick it with them.
Nice.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Is the venue pretty good?
Yeah, it's okay. Elite Tennis and Wellness, it's called. Apparently they're doing a really large expansion, like 24 more courts. So yeah, it's not a bad venue at all. They definitely get a good turnout. The amateur tournament was run well. So yeah, it's a good event.
Yeah. It was hot though when we were there. I think it was cooler when the PPA event happened.
It was not as bad when we were there. The year before, last year, was the hottest tournament of the year. It got to like 105, like legitimately 105. I don't know what on-court temp was, but
crazy.
It was insane. We actually played a match around 70 degrees because, you know, there was kind of some rain and a cold front that came in briefly. And so we had some hot days, but it wasn't terrible.
Nice. Yeah, that's stuff. And that tournament marks 1 year from the start of the Tour Wars.
Correct.
Which happened at Kansas City. So
Yeah,
I remember
I forgot about
when
that.
a lot of the players were warming up for MLP, they were like, hey, do you guys remember being on these courts last year? And all the phone calls that were happening.
Yeah.
That's a fast year.
So
Very fast.
kind of wild that we're now here. But then for the men's doubles, Ben and Colin again did not make the final.
Yeah.
Gabe Tardio, top 5 male. We called
Gabe
it.
Tardio and Hayden Patrickman, I think, are the 2 most dynamic players in the game at the moment. 2 best dual side players. Federico obviously gets another win, but plays left exclusively, but obviously is playing fantastic and maybe making a case as the most consistent performer at the moment. I think he's made finals now with 3 different partners, which is really, really hard to do. So yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of things to go through here.
Yeah.
Stylistically, technologically, and then certainly just purely performance, effort, all those things. So I guess we should just start getting into that portion of it. We all were very aware of the letter that was leaked, and we all felt really shitty about how that letter got out. And I personally reached out to Colin and apologized to him, like, hell hath no wrath like a woman scorned, man. Like, you don't put shit on paper and send it to your ex-girlfriend. They will fuck you over. And if that's all that happens here, you got lucky.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate, but I really never cared about the letter personally. Now, granted, the grievances, as were suggested, were probably not the smartest grievances, didn't carry a lot of weight. But what concerned me is, as an owner in the league and as someone who has a vested interest in pickleball, turning on Fox Sports 1 as a pickleball fan, watching MLP, which I personally love to do, and seeing the 2 best players, or excuse me, the 2 of the players that make up the best team in the world, not give a very good effort, treat their partners with disrespect, was unfortunate. It really set me off,
Yeah.
kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because those guys get paid very, very well. They're in a very fortunate position. I kind of always reference to my friends when they talk about if they were playing tennis, they'd be in Uzbekistan right now playing a $10,000 future, making $300 and spending $2,500 to be there.
Mhm.
And those are guys that work their whole life essentially to, ultimately fail,
Yeah.
at least in terms of monetarily. And these guys are in this extremely privileged situation, the greatest sports boom we've ever seen, and somehow felt entitled enough to put forth that kind of effort.
Yeah.
So the letter said that I despise MLP. It's unfair because the scoring system is unfair. The best players shouldn't have to play with the worst players. All of it was bullshit. I didn't give a fuck about any of
Yeah.
it. And I don't know what your take was, Graham, but when I read through it, all I could think was, man, this guy is fucking way off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right on the same page with you. I don't like how the information was leaked because he was trying to send it to MLP, which I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Let us inside be upset about it. Maybe make some changes on a couple of the points. But yeah, him not playing hard based on not liking the circumstances around him. Like you said, he's getting paid well to be
Very
there.
well.
Fans are there to see him and love Colin, love Ben, probably more than any pickleball players out there, honestly. And hey, you got to show up.
You got to realize that you're an entertainer and you're performing, and
Yeah.
people are there to watch you. They paid their hard-earned money to watch you. It's not
Yeah.
about you, it's about them.
Yeah. And we're trying to build something too. Like we're
Correct.
investing all this money in players like them to build a league, and that's not helping us build.
No. It
build a
actually
product.
hurts it
It
drastically.
hurts. It's the opposite.
Because if you're a CEO for Gatorade and you turn that on and you're watching, you're thinking, I love this pickleball thing. I wonder if I want to sponsor this league. Let me turn this on. I heard this is on today.
Yeah.
And then you watch for 5 minutes. All you're thinking is, fuck this. I
yeah.
don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
And that's where you can't really quantify the damage that it does.
Yeah.
There's no way. But I guarantee you some of those people that bought tickets and came in that wrote me direct messages online, they're not coming back. So you cost us fans, guaranteed. And that's a shame. And if I'm just a standard viewer tapping into FS1 on a rare occasion that we're on national television and that's the product I see, odds are, yeah, I might give it another chance, but I'm probably left with a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So, I think that the funny part about it for me was that it was titled Reasons I Despise MLP. And it was like, all right, all these reasons that didn't really hold any weight. That if you really look at them slowly, like singles shouldn't be as valuable as is. Dream breakers are amazing. Like I could run through all of them, but it's really not worth the time.
Yeah.
But then yet we have the Kansas City event this weekend. And in the bronze medal match, there was a very similar output of effort. They lost to Christian
Hayden.
Alshon and Hayden Patchwin.
Yeah.
I want to say like 11-4, 11-3. And granted, the game is changing and those guys were playing very fast. And Alshon uses a very fast paddle. And it looked like they were trying early on. And then it was like a kid that wasn't going to get candy. Like, I want my candy. I'm not going to do it unless I get my candy.
Yeah.
And they put forth a shitty effort. They're hitting serves as hard as they could. Third shot lobs, not moving. Even Cassidy made the comment, like, I hate that posture.
Yeah.
And so it's really unfortunate because, fuck, man, you're just not getting it. And that's the issue is you're not getting it. And maybe you will one day, but at the moment, you're not getting it. And I have no problem saying, like, I think that needs to be seriously looked at by the league because there needs to be a deterrent there. Again, in tennis, I think it's like a $25,000 fine right away. Because of the implications for gambling. If a player is gambling, the integrity of that match is completely, not in place anymore. So they don't allow that in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I don't fucking know. Like,
I don't think we'll see it again.
are you shitting me? We're gonna see it all the time.
They're going to get, I'm saying from them. I
Yes,
think
you
they're
will.
going to get enough earful that they're not going to do it again. I can't imagine.
Really?
You don't
Yeah,
think so?
got the
people are
whole-
looking for it now.
He just got the whole earful before Kansas City and still did it.
Yeah. I just don't think PPA is going to go for that.
Well, I listen. I hope you're right. I hope the sport in general doesn't go for that. But look, the only way that they don't go for that is if there's a firm crackdown, and that's usually in the way of a consequence.
Yeah.
A firm consequence. It's not just be like, hey, don't do that again.
Yeah, I got to know what they were so upset about in that bronze medal match. They just didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
They're
like maybe
upset they
in
weren't
their
in the
mind,
gold.
it felt like it was below them, like they've been winning a long time. But people were trying to say, oh, well, that's the explanation. It was like, the explanation's not relevant. Your explanation is not relevant. Like I've seen Andre Agassi, for one, go back from being #1 tennis player in the world to go back playing challengers at 150 in the world. He's trying. You have, Rafa this year playing Bostad, which is a ATP 250 event, very far below him. He's trying. Andy Murray going back to play challengers. They're trying. They feel the obligation to the fans, and the reality is in that bronze medal match, it was packed. The stands were full for every person that was watching them. All those people, again, are watching and going, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
So that's the part that upsets me. And, you know, it was funny because I saw Colin there, and he knew about my monologue and what I had said. And I even went to him, like, how you doing? He wasn't upset with me one bit. We're still cool. Like, I really like Colin. But I was adamant about the fact that this is being handled really poorly, and I thought he needed to own up to the mistake that he made. And it was kind of comical because he was supposed to play at 9, and it was like 1 p.m. and he hadn't gone on yet. He was like, "Can you believe the schedule today? Like, I still haven't played. It's 1 p.m. Glad I got here at 9." I was like, "See, Colin, this is a good grievance. If you write this out appropriately and you try today, you will have backers." And he was like laughing at it. We were joking about it. So I had like hope, like, okay, this is gonna like get into his soul, and he's. But
Yeah.
Are you thinking a partnership change now? Possibility?
Between those two?
Yeah.
No.
Are you still no way that's going to happen?
I don't think that happens. No.
Okay.
I don't think that happens. But I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything. You know, that's for sure. If there's anything that I do know, I just know that I know nothing.
Interesting.
But yeah, I really hope that the powers that be at least have a very serious discussion with them about the obligation that they have and the debt that they have to pickleball, and that they try to uphold that all the time.
There was also a very close match with the mixed doubles gold medal between Georgia and JW.
That's a positive one to talk about. The best match I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah.
Georgia Johnson is playing insane.
Yeah.
We played them in the round of 16, I want to say. Jade and I played really well first game. And Georgia was kind of like playing like Georgia, you know, like some dink errors, leaving a few balls up. And it was like, all right, we got him. 11-6, smoked him first game. We got him. She didn't miss a ball after that. Like I was hitting the ball to her. With the return, she's rolling these hyper-aggressive drops, attacking me at will. If Jade attacked cross-court or two-handed back encounter was coming off as big as any woman I've ever seen, like Anna Lee-type power, and it was like, whoa. And she was lighting Ben up in the final. Like, she was amazing.
Yeah.
She was legitimately, like, right there as on that level with Anna Lee in mixed.
And Anna Lee was definitely getting nervous, I think. Like, you could see her.
They were getting chippy.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, it got a little ugly.
Yeah. It was pretty fun to watch, for sure. I think everybody wants to see the GOATs have someone to come in and challenge them, right?
Of course,
I think,
yeah. You know,
also very exciting that Georgia is very vocal. Like, she was getting up there and screaming, and it's fun. It makes it very exciting.
And I think it did upset Anna Lee that she was so vocal for a period of time. It seemed to disrupt her a little bit.
Yeah, there was that one call that Anna Lee stopped the match midpoint because she thought that Georgia had hit the net with her paddle.
Right.
And Georgia was like, no, I didn't hit the thing. And so I think Georgia was like, just challenge it. Like, and I don't know if they did challenge it in the end, but you could see the tension was pretty high after that. And then when Georgia made an error, the next point, Anna Lee just yelled, ball doesn't lie.
Oh,
and let's because the ball lies all the time.
That's the worst.
First of all, let's say the ball lies all the time.
Yeah. And the crowd got actually.
Leia loves that one too. She always throws out the ball don't lie. In my head, every time, like, the ball lies. But let's also clarify, Georgia is probably the fairest player that I've played against of anybody. So, you know, if she did hit it, and there's no chance she knew it.
No way.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that it wasn't the case. I don't know what Anna Lee saw, but yeah, definitely something was going through her head. Because,
well,
that point
I've
in the
seen
one
Anna Lee
after.
too in like MLPs when she's tense, which is normal, especially as a kid. She'll hit a ball that's like 6 inches out. They'll call it on. What? Ball's in. You know, so she has that kind of like panic default of hoping that the call gets reversed to her side, and so it's not necessarily surprising. A lot of people do that. Like they'll question calls that they know are out, hoping that it's overturned.
Got it. Makes sense. Interesting. Well, we had the trades for the Challenger and Premier teams for MLP. Premier, nothing happened.
No trades.
Were you guys surprised that no one changed Premier?
No, because there's no one really available to grab. Like, who is available to go? That's at a Premier level. That's not already playing on a team.
Yeah.
No one's looking. There's no dark horses hiding right now.
Yeah, I guess not. It's hard to say without, like, I don't know who. Like, if there's a list that you all get.
There is.
So, because there's people that maybe are playing bad enough that you're like, well, damn, like.
You're more likely to see a trade than you are a pickup in the waiver. Completely different.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
But the Challenger, there was a fair amount of trading that happened.
I think Anna Bright posted something like there's only like 13 players remaining on their original team. from the start of the season.
Wow.
Something drastic like
Yeah.
that.
On Premier or Challenger?
No, on Challenger.
Oh,
Like
in
the
Challenger.
turnover is so drastic. I probably have the number wrong, so please correct me if I do. Like, come on and make a comment and tell me what an idiot I am. I'm happy
That's
with that.
wild.
But it was a drastic number of turnover. And speaking of, like, we made changes. We obviously dropped Pat early. Started with an injury for Pat. You know, we all love Pat, great guy. And then we took Yates. And then we had our 2 trades here. We took, well, I guess, drops and waivers, right?
Yeah.
Drops and pickups. And we took Krista Gacheva and Donald Young, which on paper, probably people are like, it doesn't look like the right play. But just last weekend, Krista and Kyle Kazuta beat Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova.
Right.
An incredible win. And I know Krista's working her butt off in South Florida, and she is a very good singles player and a very athletic girl. You know, and the biggest area of weakness that we have as a team is our Dream Breakers. We were 0-5.
Yeah.
So we think that Krista certainly is an improvement in that regard. And then Donald Young, who I think is like the biggest sleeper in this. He and Kwong Duong beat DJ Young and Augustus Gu pretty badly.
Yeah.
There is no bigger forehand on the pickleball court than Donald Young.
Really?
It's disgusting. He has the fastest wrist. He's right there with Sock, but more rotation. Like, we were just practicing with him, and like Zane and I were really looking at each other like, holy shit, he's hitting the ball with so much bite. This is tough.
Yeah. And he's playing with the Proton,
He's
right?
playing with the Proton. He just switched to the 11 millimeter. He was using the 15. And, you know, he has an unbelievable ability to create spin, and that paddle already has great spin potential.
Right.
And if you could make a knock on it, it's maybe that it's slightly not as powerful as these super powerful paddles.
Yeah.
But Donald is so fast with his hand, didn't fucking need that.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it. Like, so I'm very interested to see how he does, and I just think he's like the most rapid improver that I've watched over the last 2 or 3 months, and he just hasn't gotten the cred because he's not like a loud, boisterous guy. He's pretty mellow, he's pretty docile, but he wants to be fucking good.
Yeah. Makes sense. What do you think? What's your thoughts on the trades, Graham? Are you happy with what's the pickups?
Yeah, we need a change.
Yeah.
We made a change, and let's see if we can improve.
Yeah. Did you look at any numbers or anything? Because you were pretty numbers driven when you did the original draft. Or are you kind of doing this based on just what you're seeing out in the games right now?
I think a lot of it is on what Travis is seeing while he's out at the PPA and most of the PPAs, seeing you know, people practicing, playing practice games against them, watching their matches. And then we pick them up, which this is a complaint I'm going to formally write, not reminding me of this. We keep having these waivers and drafts during events, which is very frustrating.
It was weird that they were doing that.
Because here's a great example. Now there's a rule.
Go play Tammy?
What? Yeah, like getting a hold of you is one thing, right?
Right.
I'm trying to get info. I'm trying to get info from you about, all right, should we go with Donald? Are you feeling confident about this? Here's what I'm hearing. You know, he wants to be on the team, but you've got a match you're playing.
Right.
But that's the first problem. It's an even bigger problem that happened this time. So we've always had the mindset, you and I, that if we're going to drop somebody, we let them know before it gets released publicly, correct? It's a rule now by MLP. You have to tell both players, the one you're dropping and the one you're picking up, that you're dropping them and picking them up before they will publicly announce. And you get about 30 minutes. It's not long.
Got it.
I'm like, okay. I text Yates, didn't even dawn on me. He's about to step on a center court match.
He's not answering.
Wow.
No, he answered.
Oh, he did?
He's about 5. I didn't know this.
Whoa.
I say, hey, Yates, love you, man.
Yeah.
Can't say enough about you. We had to make a, difficult decision and went a different direction. And he says, hey, I completely understand.
He handled it with such class.
I love the opportunity.
Yep.
I'm a big supporter of you guys. And I'm thinking, wow, what a great guy. 5 minutes later, he's on the court in a third game heater on center court.
Damn.
And I'm like, that's so messed up.
Yeah, it's not fair.
I've got to tell this guy he's no longer playing MLP before he's about to step into a really big match. Like, we got to stop that. We got to figure out how to get these waivers and these drafts not during an event. It's not fair to the players.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah, Yates' response to it, though, is really commendable because I spoke to him the day before when I really didn't know what we were going to do. I had no idea.
Right.
And, we were just talking, and he was so... I realized that I can be difficult, but because I'm pretty blunt and honest, and that doesn't always go over well. But he was, like, good with it. He appreciated it. And I even asked, like, do you find me difficult to play with? And he was like, no, not at all. In fact, I appreciate the fact that you're very clear in your approach to strategy. And it's good to hear because I know for some it's difficult. But when we talked about kind of the psyche of the team and where we're at mentally, like everything he said was so positive, but at the same time, it was constructive. At no point did I feel like he's trying to protect himself. Is he, there was no game there. And so I couldn't have been happier with how he handled it. And, it is what it is.
Agreed.
Nice.
He's very professional.
Yeah.
He's a very professional pickleball player.
Yeah, and then we took Krista instead of Tammy. And, again, that was more in our minds for the singles portion. And Tammy was obviously a really big part of our team, super professional, helped us with a ton of things, always just kind of taking care of tedious things and on time. So.
And she got picked up right away, like 3 picks later.
Yeah, of course.
Second, she was available, another team grabbed her. So, and we knew that.
Yeah.
So Krista, what do you know anything about her background? Like where she live? Like where does she train?
She went to like Wichita State, maybe something like that. Like she went to a school like that, Montana, some smaller D1 school.
Okay.
Played tennis there. She's, I want to say South African. She's actually Bulgarian, but she's like from South Africa, I believe.
Okay.
And then I actually played mixed with her in one of her first tournaments. She was very green, very fresh, but she's very dedicated. She's putting in a lot of time.
Yeah.
And she has people that are really supporting her. And I think her relationships with Kyle Kazuda and the owner of Pickle, Michael Stroman, have been a real benefit for her. They believe in her. They're helping her, discussing strategy, giving her an opportunity to really improve. Yeah. So we're happy with it.
Okay.
And I think she's going to be awesome.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool. Speaking of tennis pros, how is Jeannie Bouchard getting on? I feel like we haven't really spoken about her in a while, but.
Well, I mean, I think she's honest about it. That's the cool thing I like about her. Is I did a clinic with her actually recently, and she is self-deprecating and also very aware. She's like, people had this idea that I was going to come out and like dominate. Literally no skill that I have in tennis translates to this. And that's the truth. She was like an aggressive baseliner in tennis that took the ball in the rise. I don't think she ever hit a slice backhand or like faded a ball with touch. Like it's just not what she did. So the idea that she's going to walk out and just be insane at it was ludicrous. But she's still playing tennis as well. So she played the tournament in Montreal, I think she was, or Toronto, I don't know, but a WTA 1000 event, played qualies. So she's still trying to kind of do both. But she couldn't have been more humble, more easygoing in my experience with her. So I think as far as the circumstance is, like coming in with basically no pickleball background, she's handled as well as she could.
Yeah. Makes sense. On the flip side of that, though, Caitlin Christian has been doing incredibly well. I don't know if you've been watching her, but
another Proton player. She made semis this week. Who did she take out? She took out someone very, very good.
Yeah, she did, and I totally forgot now.
Was that Leia? Like, who was that?
It wasn't. Yeah, I don't know now. I'd have to look it up.
So Kate definitely beat Leia. That's for sure. Or am I messing you up now?
Oh, wait, maybe we're getting it confusing. It was Caitlin that took out Leia. I'd have to.
Oh, that's interesting. Kate Fahey or Kate Christian. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, she's been playing great. She played well in MLP too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a girl who's, her skill set translates more. She played a ton of doubles, super athletic girl. Like, she's probably going to figure it out as time progresses.
Yeah, for sure. So the breaking news that we kind of encountered as we were like just getting ready to record is that the PPA added again with like the changes to the way people serve. The first iteration was the drop serve, right? You couldn't like toss the ball; it had to be below your. Like this. Yeah, hold it out, whatever. So the new one, this was a tweet I think from Grayson Golden, who said that the PPA are trying again to de-weaponize the serve by putting tape 4 feet inside the baseline and then saying your serve has to be inside that box so that it's not deemed too much of a weapon. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think that's the solution.
I genuinely really like the idea, but don't put down tape. You have to put down paint because the tape is going to slide.
Right.
And now it's a hazard during every single point. But as far as de-weaponizing the serve, I like the idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. The game was not meant to have the serve be such an enormous weapon.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. But there's obviously a lot of other things that are making the serve a weapon. And Ignatovich wrote this too, like lower the paddle power by 10%. Stop trying to change every other thing. Like the paddles are the primary issue.
I was going to say.
If you have no line, but you go back to even a year and a half ago, the serve isn't a weapon. If you take away the Zane spin serve, the Zane saw. Sorry, Zane.
But yeah. Is that how you think the paddle is the issue, not the way the serve is handled?
Yeah, I mean, we teach everyone to keep the serve deep, and now we're telling them don't keep it deep. We're shortening it up. I don't know. I don't think that's the right solution personally, but
yeah.
So you think someone should be rewarded for that accuracy and taking that risk?
Yes.
Well, you just hate this because since the day I started playing, you've been telling me to like blast the serve at the baseline. That's why you hate it. See, Graham's like he's got the thing where he will sway the narrative to fit what he said previously for his own arrogance. That's what he's not objective at all.
Doesn't make any sense. I told you to do what's happening, and they're trying to find a correction for it. It got so good. I don't have to direct the narrative.
Well, it wasn't a big deal beforehand with the paddles. Now it's a big. Now you're right. Before you were wrong.
I just knew it was coming.
You have incredible foresight. I'll tell you what. I actually did praise you as far as like the tour wars and where all that went. I did tell someone the other day, like the guy saw it fucking clearly. Exactly what was going to take place. He's been pretty spot on.
What if we roll the tapes back? That Graham would say what? That the tours would reunite, merge again.
Yeah, it'd be like the live golf scenario, get overtaken.
Yeah.
Who you sign with doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. So that was all Graham.
I get lucky every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we made a bad prediction
ever?
ever?
Such an arrogant comment for you to say. Every now and then I get lucky. I say it all the time. Fucking right all the time. That's literally the way that someone is arrogantly trying to not be arrogant.
Yeah.
All right.
Just take it.
Hey, sorry, I didn't mean to say anything. I just, I don't want to fucking crystal ball.
Hey, don't work
this
on
shit.
your serve. Keep it light and soft.
Hey, Yoda, tell me what else I'm supposed to fucking work on. What's coming next?
I'm told
all
you.
Wood paddles?
Go. I won't
this should
say.
be good. No,
I
go
won't
ahead.
say.
Go what?
Go.
No, you have to edit that out.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to say it.
I'll have to bleep it out.
Yeah, bleep that shit out.
I didn't want to say
moron.
it. So, but the people making this decision is this player council. That's the PPA. Wait, is it player council? Is that what they're calling it? Yeah, player council. Which is what, Ben? I don't know who else.
I don't know. I think Lee Waters is on it. I think Thomas Wilson is on it.
Okay, yep.
I don't know who else. I honestly don't know. But
is there an issue with like, people are making those decisions being people that might not be able to handle this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there any bias on that?
Yes, there's absolutely bias on that. In fact, we were very, very strong advocates for when the tide started to turn at the top of the game, rule changes would be implemented much faster. And I think we're, what can I say? Every now and then I get one right.
Yeah. Okay.
You get lucky once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I pick it out of the hat and fucking voila. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, I think that there's certainly a bias there. I also think that, which is funny coming from me as I own a stake in MLP, but I think someone's ownership of the PPA has something to do with it. Their personal friendships might have something to do with it. It's interesting how it's taken shape.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll have to see if there's more changes on the way.
Speaking of, I have a little one for you guys. If Gabe Tardio and Hayden Patrick played together for 1 year, are they the best team in the world?
Yes.
So they're better than J-Dub and Dylan. They're better than...
Yes.
Thank you. Agreed. I just think they're so dynamic and they have so many shots. And Hayden literally thinks he's the best player on the planet. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He's really, really certain of it. And that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to like actually believe that. And I think he believes that.
He seems to have quite a handle on knowing when to dial it in too.
Oh,
I think when I've seen him not being confident, like he's losing or whatever, he kind of comes back into himself and focuses in, I think that he gets known for the bravado and the chirping and whatnot, but I think when it's time to like fix it, like he's pretty good at like coming back to it.
I've stated this to Graham a few times. Like, I think for him, it's actually very organic. Like his shit talk is not forced. He's not trying to get himself up. Right. I think he's trying his ass off. I think he's a really good competitor. He just does it in a very kind of lax, laissez-faire kind of way.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, he certainly has the ability to chirp it and get hyphy when necessary, get in your face a little bit. And then he can shut it down real quick and be full-fledged focus.
Yeah.
And, only a couple times I've seen him get really, really frustrated, but it's very rare. And then Gabe is the most dynamic player in the world, period.
Yeah,
it's just disgusting.
Tell us about that. Like what, because Gabe definitely has been a slow burner, I feel like, in terms of his progression to the top, right?
So, I don't know if I'd go with that. What I would say is, one, he has great practice partners, right? He's playing with Andre a lot. He's playing with Ben a lot.
Yep.
So he's had to kind of find his own identity in that. Hand speed was never an issue. What was the problem for him was he has so many options. It was hard to like narrow those down to a structure. And I still don't think he's like completely mastered it because he's got so many choices. But I I think it's taken time for him to have all these incredible skills and then actually execute them.
Yeah.
Where someone that maybe has 2 skills, their game takes shape a little faster.
Sure.
And yeah, and I think he told me about a year ago, I want to say a year and a half ago, that he was going to play the right exclusively. And, because he wanted to get better partners and he felt like there wasn't a lot of great right side players. And he has completely rewritten the script on how that side is played. And people who contest that, they're like, oh, of course, there's always been right side aggression. It's like, yeah, but you're missing it. Yes, of course, there's been guys on the right who are aggressive, but not like this.
Yeah.
Not with 38 options, not that inch over in the middle and are reaching, not letting any balls bounce and completely dictating. He's doing it in a different manner with so many options. And if you leave a dead dink to him, he can hit anything at any time. It's really, really hard to get a read on what he's doing. And now he's doing it at a much more consistent clip. So he's kind of an innovator. I hate to say it, but he's an innovator.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I guess that they're going to stay partnered for a little bit. It seems so.
Well, at least at MLP. Yeah. And then, it's going to be interesting to see when 2 years from now we have Asia obviously making this huge move with global pickleball.
Yep.
That enormous pay raise that they're putting through, $15 million in prize money, $1.5 million for one particular event.
Yep.
What happens when all the ping pong players and the badminton players come over and they start playing?
Right.
Is this different? How does this look? Like, are they playing in a different manner? Is all the technique different? Is the strategy different?
Yeah.
And I legitimately think we don't even know how this goes. We might be 3 years out and be like, what the fuck are we doing in 2024?
Like Annalie just put a video out saying that when she started playing, she would go and play senior pros or like whatever. And they'd say, your game is too fast. You need to slow it down. And she's like, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. Right. And it's like, okay, look what happened. So
yeah, no, I think that's a good point. You have to kind of like stay with that identity. And there's going to be kids who come up with some funky shit. I did a kids clinic this past weekend in Kansas City. And there was one kid actually using a proton. I forget his name. But they have tricky shit. They're like 10 years old and they're already showing A and doing B. And it was like, whoa, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of trickery coming and a lot of craft coming.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think will be possible with the powered down paddles.
Yes, it'll make it far more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be cool. So you and Zane, you got to, was it round 16?
No, we lost second round. I won't talk about the horrible call we got in the first round. That was disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
And I, of course, opened my mouth probably too much. Zane was like, okay, just like enough. Just win. But it was very egregious. But then, in the second round, we didn't play our best. But, credit to, we played Pablo and Callan.
Yep.
It was the best I'd ever seen Callan play. Callan didn't miss a ball. Pablo played very well. It seemed like every break went their way, but we weren't sharp.
Yeah.
And so we just need to find
the sweet spot.
Some cohesion.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened last time. First week we were bad. Second week we were better. Third week we were good. And I think that'll happen also here.
Nice. So are you playing again with him this week?
Yes. Yep. Bristol, I have he and Jade again.
Okay, cool.
Jade's a little shredder.
Yeah.
Always
doing well
fun of me, so
she got to women's doubles.
She won the final.
Yeah,
she and Lacey beat Megan and Etta in the semis, and Jade and Lacey were good. Lacey played the best I've ever seen her play in the semis. She was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's awesome. Cool. Yeah. What are you excited about, Graham, for pickleball?
You got a lot to say tonight.
Yeah, give us a hot take.
Well, see, the problem is Graham doesn't watch any pickleball, so you have to start watching more pickleball.
You need to come.
I do need to watch.
You need to come over. We'll drink boba and we'll watch some pro pickleball. And I'll get you some mozzarella sticks.
This is about to be called "Tennis Sucks" by Luke Burton and Travis Rettenmeyer, hosted by Graham D'Amico.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to edit.
No thanks.
No thanks.
I'm excited about Nashville. Is that a first time they've gone there?
Yeah,
Nashville.
first time. It's a debut. It's inside the.
Wait, what's happening in Nashville? I don't even know about this.
Oh, is that not where it is?
What?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol, Tennessee.
Oh, Bristol, Tennessee.
Sorry, yeah.
No,
I agreed with
Bristol?
you. I knew what you were trying to say.
Where's Bristol?
That's a great question. A far fucking cry from Nashville.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like you can't even fly. I should have looked at flights to Nashville. Fuck. Because I was looking at flights to Knoxville's 2 hours. I didn't look at Nashville.
It's north? Where is this in Tennessee?
All I know is it's 2 hours away from Knoxville. The other closest airport was TRI.
I thought it was in Nashville. Now I'm not excited.
No. It's in like some little. It's in like some little podunk.
I'm not excited about Bristol.
It's probably like where we went. Like Tournament of Champions type shit.
Yeah.
But I think that they're hosting it inside where they do the NASCAR stuff,
Oh,
right?
that's what it's famous for. The NASCAR racing, Bristol.
Bristol
That's where
is?
I've heard the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear that. They actually asked, are you sure it's inside there?
I think
I don't
I
think
feel
it
like
is. I think they were doing something events
they
there.
were.
I think they were doing events. I don't
Okay.
think the matches are there,
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe
That
I've
would
just
be
seen some
fucking
promo
cool.
stuff. It would be cool.
but I don't think that's right.
It'd be like EDC
If it is,
Vegas.
I will eat my words. But
Mm.
yeah, they were asking like some players to show up for car rides around the track and shit. But
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm excited about Travis's partners.
Yep.
I'm not excited about Bristol anymore.
Graham,
I thought
tell
it was
me who I beat this week. Tell me which players I beat in mixed.
well, you didn't beat anyone in singles.
Wow. And I'm actually still ruining that decision to play because my fucking knee hurt so bad.
Oh man.
Were you on any streams?
Yes, I was.
Oh, you were?
Uh-huh.
I think
I believe for 2 matches.
I watched a
Wow.
couple of his games where he was like in the background of another stream, so I could kind of
This is
see.
getting more and more fun. You didn't see the one game I won against the Johnsons before losing 11-1,
I did not see
11-0?
that.
Yeah, the first time I ever been pickled.
No, you told me about it. I didn't see it.
Jade, it was your fault and you know it. Okay, Miyoko and Miyoko?
What about New York? You excited about New York? I
Yeah,
guess.
very. I think that's going to be our best event of the year. That I am excited about. MLP
Yeah,
New York,
I'm
Central
excited about
Park.
that. I'm not excited about the hotel prices, but I'm really excited about
Yeah, what do we
playing.
do about that? Is there something we can do about?
I don't think so. Just eat it. I thought we had an owner that lived in New York City, don't we?
Yeah.
We don't have that?
Is there an owner that
Isn't there an
lives
owner that
If
lives in New York
only.
close to
City?
Central
He's had
Park?
a baby.
Has a
lives
big
right by
house
there.
that we could all
Yeah, big
stay in?
place, right? It's fucking-
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
but
his
to work
name?
on that.
What's his name?
And
again?
then we go right back to Virginia Beach the weekend after.
Oh, really?
Back to back MLPs,
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
strange.
Okay.
That'd be
No, that's
interesting.
good. That's good.
think that's
Get in a
good.
rhythm. Honestly think that's what I was playing more shitty is because a lot of people had matches lit up and I didn't play for a month.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, if you look at Fahey as an example of that,
Right.
really hot in MLP goes right into PPA,
Right.
and you think there's got to be some momentum pushing you through on that. For
Correct.
sure.
Yeah, they're just in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't even get Graham to practice with me. Very busy with the club. So it's Graham's fault again. And sorry, I'm wearing this because I'm sick. I have to keep a safe distance from
Yeah.
Graham.
Yeah,
got a weak
last
immune
time you were
system.
sick, you got the whole team sick. Let's not do that again.
I did do that.
Pat got sick.
And I was
I didn't
coughing
get
up blood.
sick. I don't-
Everybody got sick in Atlanta. Martina got sick. I got
yeah,
sick.
A lot of people got
I
sick.
apologize. Deeply
Yeah.
sorry.
All right. Well, with that, let's call it a day. Good luck tomorrow with your trip. You playing singles tomorrow?
No, I actually told the PPA rep that if I asked to play singles again, tell me I can't. Like,
Okay.
Take it away from me. Because I think I was against Sincola, I was up 11-2, 7-3. Made one little, probably at 7-5, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And yeah, from then I've now feel like I'm 90.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thanks, physical therapy place that I can't mention. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Right. Yikes. All right. Well, best of luck. And yeah, Graham, come over and we'll watch some pro pickleball.
Okay, got it.
Tell me, Graham.
Bye.